As technology develops and becomes more advanced, so too does its ability to increase accessibility for people with disabilities. Today, there is a piece of assistive technology for just about anyone. The definition of assistive technology, or AT, is broad enough to include almost any tool that might help someone in their daily life.
AT is best described as any tool, device, software, or application used to increase, maintain, or improve the quality of life of a person with a disability or functional limitation. That can include a soft technology, which can be a person who is assisting as well.
The range of influence that AT can have on a person's life is broad as well, from access to reliable internet for remote work to full mobility devices.
And during that spring semester of my senior year, I was able to become a client of Rehab Services. And by Mardi Gras that year, they had purchased a portable computer called Smalltalk. It spoke to me, and I was able to get my notes and then transfer my notes onto my Apple computer. Now, this kept me very competitive with my peers throughout my senior year. So I was able to graduate senior year, valedictorian, first in the class of 200.
I use a wheelchair to get around and an iPad to speak. I can't use my hands and I'm unable to walk. I need 24-hour care. My iPad is my phone, computer, and serves as my means to communicate outside of my home.
Because there's such a wide variety of AT devices, people are free to choose the specific technology that works best for them.
You know, people are going to have personal preferences as to how they like to accomplish a task. Sometimes low-tech solutions can sometimes be more effective than high-tech solutions. So we need to look at the whole range. Sometimes I'd walk in with people who had some difficulty getting information into the computer. Sometimes it was simply trying a different type of keyboard or a different type of mouse or trackball, but others might have needed voice recognition.
While we did a corporate loan with the agency, we also make device loans to an individual. And ultimately, it's the theory behind is that we recognize that device demonstrations, meaning just someone showing you how to use the device and telling you that the device is out there, it really can't provide the same level of experience as the ability to use the device or equipment in your own environment. So the device loan or borrow program allows AT users to try it out before you buy it.
Some people, like Lynette, use their AT for creative purposes.
A friend of mine saw me use the light pointer and decided to teach me to mix colors and paint. I thought she had lost her mind until I could actually paint. I used a paintbrush attached to a headband, putting the canvas on a pillow on my lap. My head and leg movements allows me to paint.
The Assistive Technology Act of 1988 has helped spread awareness and accessibility of AT for people with disabilities since it was implemented.
Part of the AT Act is the reutilization of AT devices. Well, the reutilization programs across the country are designed to get AT or get equipment in, and after someone no longer needs it, recycle it, refurbish it, and then it becomes free to use for someone else.
Schools can also provide testing or evaluations to see if people with IDD could benefit from having a specific piece of AT.
When I was a student at LSU, Eunice, I went for a technology evaluation to help me speak and use a motorized chair. I had difficulty getting used to using the equipment It was much faster to try to communicate as before. This was slow and tedious because someone had to read to talk for me. I could finally say what was on my mind, express my feelings and faith.
One major roadblock in the world of AT is the digital divide, which disproportionately affects underrepresented people like the IDD community.
Look, it's simple. There's a bunch of people in Louisiana, but there's even a greater number of people in the US that do not have access to high-speed internet. I think what we learned, of course, it was all exacerbated by the pandemic, but even for folks that lived in rural areas and even for folks that lived in areas where the poverty rates were really high, even in areas that were highly urbanized, I think everyone had experienced a broadband challenge. And what the pandemic showed was how heightened and sensitive to the lack of broadband was to someone's ability to be both professionally and personally successful.
However, by activating activists and spreading awareness about the digital divide, organizations like Connect Louisiana hope to close the divide, and steps are already being taken in the right direction.
This is a communication game. We have to over-communicate. We have to keep talking and not only just communicating, but also showing people that we're making incremental progress to solving this issue. Today I was talking to parish officials from North Louisiana. Yesterday it was other people. I would encourage all your listeners and viewers to spend as much time talking to and engaging with their respective broadband offices.
For some, the struggles may not stop at acquisition. Learning to use new technologies can be challenging.
One day I came home, had done chemistry lab that day and had it all fresh in my head and typed a chemistry lab report. Now, I couldn't really see the typewriter while I was typing. So after I finished typing my lab report for 2 hours, took the paper out of the typewriter, put it under my CCTV, and noticed a blank page with some black smudges. There were a lot of tears that night, to say the least. The typing ribbon had run out of ink. My father was a computer guy, and he invested in an Apple IIe computer at that time for me. He said, "It doesn't run out of ink."
But with some adjustments and determination, assistive tech can be a real game changer.
Getting devices and learning to use them can be difficult and time-consuming, resulting in frustration. All of this is worth the effort. You must continue to use the device, and it is all right if it is slow going. Keep trying.